The drum shotgun is back, and it's been everywhere since yesterday's update. I'm going to break down my favorite methods for dealing with it and playing the game in general now that Season 9 and 10 are out. I've been wanting to make a video regarding the heavy AR as well, so I'm going to combine this into sort of a heavy AR, jetpack, explosives, anti-drum shotty video. First and foremost, with the heavy AR, you need to tap fire, but if you can get the rhythm down like you've seen on screen, you can get some incredibly accurate shots. I also want to point out the hip fire on this gun. Notice some clips where I'm not aiming down sight and just how accurate the gun still is. This is a key part of the strategy. This is similar to a Theory of Fortnite video where I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of clips previously played. These will be from various games, however, not just all one game as I normally do. Right here, I'm displaying some of the incredible accuracy of the heavy AR from distances, even though that was probably a bot. And right here is a great example of the hip firing that the heavy AR allows. It is very good once you have to switch off. I'm trying various explosives right now. We got the proximity launcher exploding thingy, and that's been a pretty good explosive. We got the grenade launcher still, and we also have the RPGs. So right now, explosives are kind of going crazy here. Person tried to throw a junk rift at me, but here I'm still showing off the hip fire of the heavy AR. So this is my favorite gun right now. The infantry rifle just came in. People are all about that, but I don't think people are aware of how good this gun is at pretty much every range. It's kind of the twin mag of last season. And right now the drum shotty is back. So here's how I like to use the drum shotty. I like to fly around with it. This person here had a jetpack, but they didn't even think to use it like that. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think of this. Shout out to Evolve Jake. I was watching his stream yesterday and earlier today, and he was doing a lot of this. So he's who kind of got my brain thinking about things like this. But it was my little brain that decided to start throwing some rockets and things like that into the mix. Once you throw rockets into the mix and explosives, this gun gets, or this setup and this whole thing gets very overpowered. I like rockets more than the grenade launcher because I feel like in general it just does more damage quicker, and you, as you saw in that last clip, you can actually stay floating in the air for quite a while you reload, get a second rocket off, but the proximity launcher is still really good as well. Over here, this person tries to snipe at me, and we have the proximity launcher, and it just kind of floats in the air. It's a very hard to deal with weapon if you're on the receiving end of it. So I felt a little bit dirty about that play, I'm not gonna lie. This person here is in a bush and approaching me, and I have the exact same setup. It's kind of very shortly after the clip before. They're in just as bad of a situation. They're going for cover, and we miss a couple shots, but even though we have a reload there, it's only a 3-second reload. We get 2 more shots off, and then we're able to pull the drum shotty out for some close range action. Now, this is one key example of how the jetpack can help save you. Pro mini right here. I was so lucky to get that mini off. That mini actually saved my life here, but floating around this person with the jetpack and not having to worry about where I am on the trees actually really helped me out there quite a bit. This person over here, I have to thank them a lot. They actually really taught me a bit that I'm going to use for the rest of the video going forward as to how to really deal with players who are in close range, even if you don't have a explosive. So they try to explode me with their rocket launcher. I take out my my drum shotty and I'm shooting at them from pretty far range. I probably should have switched to my heavy AR. I hadn't quite thought of it at that point. This is actually the clip right here where I think to do what I really recommend most. This is where I made the thumbnail for the clip because this is just such a perfect moment. I'm going to call this one the Kobe, folks. You got to give him the fadeaway. You got to give him the jump up, and while you're in the jetpack, if you can shoot at them, you can RT, aim down sight, and just give them that fadeaway. While you're flying away, try to hit them, and then kind of tap your jetpack so that you don't take any fall damage. It's been really, really helpful so far. And if you can combine it with explosives, like in clips like these, I think you're going to have a lot of success like I have so far this season. So the heavy AR is just super accurate, and it hits for so much, which is why I like to open up targets with it. And the rocket launcher just combines perfectly with this setup in simply being able to look down and open players up as well. Now, this here is a bit of a scuffed fight, but it shows a couple things here. A Theory of Fortnite. Don't chase if you don't have to, and I should have finished the job here. I should have taken one more pump shot there. I was at 26 HP, and I realized to myself, like, you know what? I probably can get away. As soon as I saw that I could mantle there, I was like, you know what? Let's try to go reset. Let's go down to Dusty and get some mushrooms, heal up a little bit. Unfortunately for me, I get a little stuck right here. I'm running into kind of a wall, and this person comes down and tries to finish the job. Now, I get this rocket reload off, and that is really what saves me there. We tag them up there, they drop down right here, but then they pop back up, and then we give them the fadeaway and just drop another rocket in their face. Now, if rocket and jetpack is a little bit too busted, is a little too busted. This is the moment of truth, folks. This is where I decide. I know this is a non-important clip, but I decide right here I'm dropping my shotgun and I'm going with heals. I'm going with heals.
That may be the most brilliant strategy I've ever heard of in my entire life.
This is my little brain is moving here, folks. I decide that we're going to go with a 2-gun setup. We're going to go with the AR and the rocket launcher. And for me personally, I just find that it works absolutely perfect because I'm not trying to get close to people right now. That's my main thing is I'm trying the reason why I thought of this strategy in general was because the drum shotty is everywhere. My first like 6 games, I think I died to it 5 times. And I'm thinking to myself, how can I not die to this drum shotty anymore? So the only logical thing to do is to create separation. So if I can create separation, then I can use my AR, I can use my explosives. And what's the best way to create separation? By going up. Now, the jetpacks are great because they help you get into trees like this. And trees give you a nice little vantage point. However, they can block your vision when you're trying to shoot at people. So you might have to walk to the edge of the tree when you are in these situations. But for end game, for rotating, for situations where you're 4 or 5 people left and you don't know exactly where to go, jetpacking up into one of these trees can actually be huge here. But we just hit him with a couple of tags, rocket launcher down, and that's game over. That is game over. Now, there's one very, very important thing that I want to mention when running a setup like this. Notice my jetpack right now is very low in the fuel. I actually am met with a very unfortunate demise because I let my jetpack get too low. And I include clips like this and situations like this because I want to help you guys learn from my mistakes like you've seen in some of my other videos. So we're going to attack this guy with 2 rockets. We're going to stay in the air. We're going to reload with a 2nd rocket, shoot down. That should take away about 95% of his health. And all we do is hit him with 1 little AR shot to finish it off. Run into here, use a couple of our big pots to heal up. And now we're in an endgame situation. We see this person with a baller, and they were over there kind of riding around, and we know there's only 2 people left, so we're just kind of waiting for the very best situation to push. We notice them fighting, and we have 7 grapplers left. Now is time. It gets down to 1 person. We miss our first grapple. That's all good. We're going to grapple onto the house, jump up here, and I just miss my rocket right here. This is tragic for me. I hit the back side of that roof and not the front side. The back side, it's just like the little tip of it blocked the entire shot. The tip of the roof blocked the entire shot. But right here, I run out of jetpack, and I have to take an L for that. And I just want to include that because I want you guys to not have to do the exact same thing that I did. The way that I could have not had that happen was I had that same jetpack the entire game. There were many instances where I simply could have not used the jetpack, used my grappler, or used other situations for traversal in an attempt to try and save all of my fuel for that very last endgame scenario. So that's why I included that there. I just wanted people to be able to notice that. And okay, this is just a silly clip. I know, folks, we're doing a jetpack explosive AR video, but this person flew their plane into the rift, and I just thought that was really clever. And I just wanted to include that as just a silly little thing because it was in the footage that I was going through, and I wasn't going to clip it and put it anywhere else. So I just wanted to show that to you guys here. That's a quick little tip. If you guys are flying a plane, fly it into a rift, and it'll get you some extra height. This person here was just chilling on the mountaintop, and I felt bad for them because they didn't see me at all. I have my rocket launcher. I have my jetpack. And it's just about game over for them. I have my drum shotgun too. So even though this is an anti-drum shotgun strategy, you can still use it with a drum shotgun. It's a pretty... what's the word that I'm looking for? You have a lot of versatility. With what we have right now. So if you don't have heals, you can always still run a shotgun. That's what I've been doing. When I get heals, then I drop my shotgun. This person here also had a jetpack, but they didn't quite get up high enough, and then we got into a little bit of a back and forth here. This is a bit of a long fight that I wanted to include because they make a fundamental error that loses them this fight. I mean, Fortnite is a crazy game, folks. Sometimes fights can take a few moments, sometimes they can take a few minutes. This one is closer to a few minutes, and they make one really, really big mistake that costs them the entire thing. But we are chasing them, and right now we start to get shot at, and that's okay. Luckily, the backside of this building here is already blown out. I should have reset my jetpack there. Pro tip, you do not need to be set on your jetpack on the inventory slot to actually switch your jetpack. You can be on a gun and reset your jetpack. So just keep that in mind. If your jetpack is ever not full, try to reset it. The person who I was shooting at initially gets away from me, and then they get high ground. So this is a bit of a devastating situation. I play this probably a little too poorly. I stay up on this hill. I didn't quite know until I turn around here quite the angle that they had on me. Like, they had an angle on me the entire time. So we're just going to do our best here to get away with the grappler. Notice once again, folks, not once again, I haven't really mentioned it yet, but I'm running grappler and jetpack most of the time here. That's why I'm going 2 guns plus heal plus double mobility. Jetpack by itself is great and all, but with the grappler is really when it shines. With shockwaves is really when it shines. So you have to get a double mobility going for the jetpack to truly be good. But then this person here starts to push me, and that's when I think that it's probably time to get the AR out. And we're going to just go for some, no more explosives. I'm trying to go for the fadeaway here. And this is a big thing here that I do that they don't. Not that I shoot the shot, that I grapple down to negate my fall damage. Look at them. They don't grapple down. They run out of their fuel, and they died for it. So, folks, fuel management is massive. We've already seen 2 instances where a person, myself, and then once my enemy, not using a grappler, or not using the fuel properly, has cost them their life. Here, this person has a drum, and they are chasing. They are chasing. This right here is got to be my best example. This may be what caused me to make this video. The anti-drum strategy, folks. Just Kobe, drain, like fade away, shooting the gun. You got to be able to hit your shots with this, folks. Like, this strategy does require a very good type, claw strategy, something like that. I would just recommend some way that you can still move your hands around and this and that. That's all I recommend with this. So it's very important to be able to get your hands in a position where you can hold on to the jump button and still move your stick around. That's why either like a paddle controller, holding it claw, or remapping your controls in some way that you can jump and shoot at the same time is just, it's vital for a strategy like this. I'm trying out the grenade launcher here. It's the first time, and probably I think the only time that I was able to get the grenade launcher with this. Grenade launcher is fine, it's good, but it's not quite as good as the RPG in my opinion. And this right here, folks, the drum shotgun here loses, or is that attack? I can't tell. But the shotgun loses to the heavy AR in a hip fire match, finishing it all off. So to me, that was pretty impressive. The best part about this fight here is it really exemplifies when you're in a jetpack, people can mantle up, they can mantle down, they can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. We are above them. They could have done whatever they wanted. In this clip, notice as well that I have a SCAR. I do not have a heavy AR. This is why I really do recommend the heavy AR for this strategy. The regular assault rifles just don't quite do it in terms of accuracy. That's just what I've noticed. The heavy AR, when you tap fire it, folks, at the consistency that you've seen me doing it, like, maybe like 2 bullets a second, not quite, you're not shooting it anywhere near full auto, but look at this person grappling up. Like, they're just getting beamed. They get so beamed that they decide to not grapple on top of me. They get so shot that they just decide, and then don't do what I did here, folks. I took fall damage unnecessarily. I could have just tapped my jetpack one more time, and then they just get easy cleanup. Easy cleanup, folks. So that's going to be my best recommendation. Run grappler, run jetpack, take an explosive, and then take the heavy AR, and you guys are going to have success. This has been one of the more crazy seasons so far with the drum shotty coming back in. So I think that if you can maintain your distancing, you're going to have a success, and you're going to get some victory royales, just like we do here. But that's going to be the end of this one, folks. Thank you all, love you all, and we'll see you on the next one.